getting a good sense of what the customer actually wants and how they perceive your product. So with that in mind, I want to describe a very simple method of researching customers' preference. And it is becoming increasingly common. It's called MBWA, which stands for Managing by Wandering Around. Now, MBWA, that's not the most technical sounding maybe you never heard, but it describes pretty accurately. Here's how it works. Basically, the idea is that business owners or business managers just go out and actually talk to their customers and learn more about how well the business is serving their needs and write down what the strengths and weaknesses are. How you can improve in those things. That they might super can meditate and such. The head of the company had done a top executive work on the supermarket, asking shoppers what they thought of Dalton soup, and he used that data to make changes to the company product. I mean, when Dalton's overall company embraces something as radical as MVWA, it really shows you how popular the theory has become. Yes, Lisa. But this is dangerous to base this information from a small sample of people. Is it large-scale market research safer getting data on a lot of people? That's a good question, and well, I don't want to pretend that without it, some sort of replacement for other methods of personal research. Now, the market research data definitely can give you a good idea of the big picture, but MVWA is a really useful kind of filling in the blanks. Getting a good underground sense of how your products you use, how people need to respond to them. And yes, the number of opinions you get is small, so you do need to be careful. But good business managers will tell you that the biggest fear they have, and one of the most frequent problems they come across, is becoming out of touch with what the customer really wants to need. Survey and market research stuff like that. They can only tell you so much about what the customer actually want in their day-to-day lives. Managing by one way around, on the other hand, that get you there, giving you a good sense of about what customer needs. So we use a combination gem, MWA, and market research was a powerful tool. Oh, here's another example for you. She executive for clothing manufacturer, Arkan jeans, they went to work in the store a few days. And then a very different idea about their product. They saw how people responded to it. They could go out to the customers in the store and ask them questions about it. Yes, Mike? Well, I really think that a lot of customers will be bothered by, if I'm shopping, I don't know if I want some business representative coming up to me and asking me questions. It's like when I got a phone call on the phone from market research and I just hung up them. Oh, well, it's certainly true that, no one is getting calls at home from market researchers or people like that. But I'll tell you something. Most customers have exact opposite reaction when they come to MDRA. Now, don't ask me why, because I really have no idea. But the fact is that the customers tend to respond really well to MWA, which is a key reason for our success. In fact, the techniques of MWA work so well. They have actually been extended to all kinds of different contexts, like power deals, for instance. A few years back, the mayor of Baltimore, I can guess it's named Schaefer or something like that. Anyway, he decided that the best way to celebrate the festival appears to city was actually get out there in it and experience the things that they experience. So he ride around the city, all parts of it. And he shares the part of the trash sometimes not picked up. on the street. They go back to the office and they write these memos and the memos to staff of the problem he had seen. But the thing is, he got all the information just by going around and seeing the different Baltimore neighborhood and talking to the people in them. And he called it smart politics. We will call it MVWA or just providing good customer service. Okay, as we've talked about, a key aspect of running a successful business is knowing and getting a good sense of what the customer actually wants and how they perceive your products. So, with that in mind, I want to describe a very simple method of researching customer preference, and it is becoming increasingly common. It's called MVWA, which stands for Managing by Wandering Around. Now, MBWA, that's not the most technical sounding name you've ever heard, but it describes the process pretty accurately. Here is how it works. Basically, the idea is that business owners or business managers just go out and actually talk to their customers and learn more about how well the business is serving their needs and try to see what the customer experience is, because that's a great way to discover for yourself how your product is perceived, what the strengths and weaknesses are, you know, how to you can improve it, sort of thing. You know, Daltons, they make soup and canned vegetables and such. Well, the head of the company had Dalton's tough executive walk around the supermarkets and asking shoppers what they thought of Dalton soup, and he used the data to make changes to the company's products. I mean, when Daltons of all the companies emphasize something as radical as MVWA, it really show you how popular the theory has become. Yes, Lisa? But this is dangerous to base a decision on information from a small sample of people, as it large-scale market research safer getting data on a lot of people. That's a good question, and well, I don't want to pretend that MVWA is some sort of replacement for other methods of customer research. Now, the market research data definitely can give you a good idea of the big picture, but MVWA is a real useful kind of filling in the blanks. You know, getting a good underground sense of how you products you use and how people will respond to them. And yes, the numbers of opinion you get is small, so you do need to be careful. But good business managers will tell you that the big fears they have, and one of the most frequent problems that come across is well becoming out of touch with what their customers really want and need. You know, surveys and market research, stuff like that, they can only tell you so much about what the customers actually want in their day-to-day lives. Managing by wandering around on the other hand, that get that get you in there, give you a good sense about what customers need. So when use combinations them, MVWA and market research were the powerful tools. Oh, here is another example for you. She used executive for a clothing manufacturer. It was Alcan jeans. You know, they went in work in the store for a few days selling Elkin clothes. Now that gives them a very different idea about their product. They saw how people responded to it. They could go up to customers in the store, ask the questions about it. Yes, Mike. Well, I would think that a lot of customers will be bothered by, if I'm shopping, I don't know if I want some business representative coming up to me and asking me questions. It's like when I got a phone call at home from marketing researchers. I just hung up then. Oh, well, it's certainly true that, no one likes getting calls at home from market researchers or people like that, but I will tell you something. Most customers have exact opposite reaction when they come to MVWA. Now, don't ask me why, because I really have no idea. But the fact is that the customers tend to respond really well to MVWA, which is a key reason for our success. In fact, the techniques of MVWA work so well, they have actually been extended to all kinds of different contracts like politics or insurance. Instance, um, they have actually been extended to all kinds of different contracts like politics, for instance. A few years back, the mayor of Baltimore, major, major of Baltimore じゃなくて、メイヤーじゃない。Mayor of Baltimore. I can guess its name is Shepherd or something like that. Anyway, he decided that the best way to serve the people of the city, of his city, was actually get out there in it and experience the things that they experienced. So he ride around the city, all parts of it, and he sees all the photos. She hauls the trash wheels sometimes and not pick up at offside the street, and then they go back to the office and they write these memos and these memos to staff about the problems he has seen and how they need it to be fixed. That sort of thing. But the thing is, he got all the information just by going around and seeing the different Baltimore neighborhoods and talking to the people in them. And he called it small politics. We call it MBWA, or just plain good customer service. Customer service. Service.